further development of the downtown.
Just to see.
Just to see.
I realize the park right now is
Yeah.
CS, so
Yeah.
if anything transpired, that would have to be rezoned.
Yeah, so, yeah, in the
Couldn't
zoning
rezone
regulations
C-
that,
C1.
that we're gonna look to adopt wouldn't really help them in terms of what they proposed.
No. You have almost
Yeah.
like a rewrite. a new
They're
district
gonna,
for that.
because if it were to get to that point, they're just gonna write their own regs.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all they're gonna do is write their own regs. So we don't even, it doesn't matter what we put together, they're not gonna pay any attention to it, they're just gonna come up with their own regs. So, yeah.
More, you know, after, feel free to visit us at another meeting with the comprehensive plan and give some input as far as what you want to see or change.
Really like
That's our email.
You're the kind of people
Yeah.
we're looking for.
Yeah.
We
Add her to the list.
need
when there's
that.
an opening.
Yeah. Put your name in the list for an opening on the meeting boards. How to spell your last name?
It's MCCLOSKEY, and I live at 85 Central Avenue.
It was a wonderful presentation.
And if you
Really
You look
appreciate
familiar,
it.
it's almost like I've seen you present to us at least once, maybe. We would have remembered it, I guess. We're very pleased, I think, on behalf of everyone, we're pleased you came.
Thank you.
I would like to support the survey, and I will take it upon myself to reach out to others and bring them to the council.
Yeah, please do.
And
And when did you say you moved here?
2007, was it? Yes.
No, that's 2016.
Or, I'm sorry, yeah, 26. I apologize.
Forgot it.
I forgot 10 years.
It's only 10 years old.
Fly
You
by.
were busy
right?
getting your master's. So for a short period of time, it's nice to see you're so invested in the community.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, Mike, it's yours.
Okay, so we have a lot to cover tonight. It's possible that we're not going to get through all the material. I don't know how late you guys like to run these meetings. Just
Well,
keep
how
going.
we feel.
Yeah, just, I'm thinking 9:30ish, we should think about wrapping it up, depending where we are, if we get to that, to be that late. So, all right, so what we're going to do tonight, Brent and I are going to sort of tag team it. We're going to start by going over, I'm going to start with, we'll start with the minutes and the discussion of the C1 district, and then we get to the comprehensive plan portion of things. I'm going to turn it over to Brandon, she's going to head the discussion then. So everybody got copies of the minutes? And we're all generally in agreement with this? Yep. Those are good? Okay, that's always good. All right, so last month we had met with Board of Supervisors. I don't know if anybody's, are you guys here for that meeting? The Board of Supervisors? Not Board of Supervisors. I said Board of Supervisors. It's just council.
We watched them.
Brent's messing me up because it's my fault. And he changed this to council. Yes, that's Board of Supervisors. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine you were at the Board of Supervisors.
No, say it.
Yeah, so.
It's pretty lonely there.
Yeah. So, essentially what we did at that meeting, the council meeting, that was the same meeting that they had
Presentation.
right.
All right, then I was there.
The Moore Community Park presentation, yeah.
It was
So,
packed.
yeah, it was.
I was
Yeah.
back in that corner.
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe somebody came out for us, So, we just had a brief discussion with council, and generally, really, the only feedback that we got was that they want to do a survey. And I think there was a little bit of discussion about what that survey would be, and what we're going to do is Brent's going to start to, she's going to talk about that survey later on tonight, on how we kind of tackle that.
Good. I don't want to repeat the same questions.
Yeah, that's a big concern of ours, is we don't, reinvent, we don't want to reinvent the wheel, but at the same time, we want more, the diverse
And the ones from
questions,
the
yeah.
blueprint, too.
Yeah, right, we don't want to repeat that information. We already know how the committee feels about those
Right.
topics. So let's explore some other topics or other ways of looking at, detailed ways of looking at some of those things that we already looked at. So more, we want new information is what we want. All right, so I have, does everybody have copies of the C1, the amended C1 district that should have September 23rd on it?
The 3 documents,
Yeah,
3 different pieces.
should have September 23rd at the top.
I didn't print everything.
I have hard
All right, I'll
copies.
take a vote.
So, you,
Yeah, I'll take it.
all right. You guys just didn't want to speak up, did you?
You're done.
You need one, you need-
Yep.
I'm good over here. I'm good over
Are
here.
you good over here?
Yep.
Oh, these are all. Just one whole set?
I think I printed
Set
them.
of these. Thanks, Mike.
We need more, I got more.
Okay, got
I
it.
think there's the 3 copies. 3 copies, yep, yes. Yes. Okay. All right. My own copy. Okay, so, we're going to start with the use regulations. And we're going to just assume, we're going to go right to some of the things that need to be discussed or things that we changed,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
So if we go to page 2, and this is, really it's the same regulation that we're going to have under live, work, unit, and mixed-use structure, okay? So one of the thoughts in our discussions was the idea of having a delivery space in front of the building. If you're doing sort of that intense development in a downtown area, would it be useful to have a delivery space that, whether it's delivery trucks or the business that's, occupying that first floor, or it's an Uber that's waiting for, to pick somebody up, or, pizza delivery or something like that. So we put in this regulation, it says 1, loading and delivery space where parking shall be prohibited, shall be provided adjacent to building's entrance or in an alternate off-street location.
How's that going to affect what we currently have?
What's that?
How would that affect what we currently have? I mean, parking's at a premium.
Yeah, and that's the drawback, is you're giving up a parking space, if not a little more.
Per storefront or per block?
Just per building, yeah.
Well, building can have
Yeah.
5 storefronts.
Per use. So if you have like a mixed-use structure, that's per use.
Can we put this in with like we do with the other ones, if we conglomerate it, put it in the sunlight? The lockdown, new build, rebuild?
Well, you're,
I don't see it working, even like the Stockton building, there's just no parking. You park in Pennsylvania.
right.
You have maybe 2 parking spots in front, and you give up that parking.
Okay. And I'm okay with not putting it in there. I'm absolutely okay with that, because I do see that side of it.
Now, have you taken into consideration the traffic on Bridge Street?
I mean, that's,
For a loading zone on Bridge
Well,
Street,
that's-
that's not gonna happen.
well, yeah, I mean, the drawback though is that they're gonna just put their flashes on and they're gonna stop right in front. They're gonna stop traffic.
Or they're gonna be
Yeah.
going on the backside into
Sure.
the public block and wheel
Yeah.
around or use the back end.
Yeah, that
would be
preferable.
Right,
You use the back end.
yeah.
They parking with flashes on, that's what we need.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's up to
There you go.
PD to make that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just leave that out for
All right,
now.
I'm okay, let's take it out, okay? take it out. All right, so I had a similar provision for, under mixed-use structure. But I had something else for mixed-use structure. And previously what we had was that parking spaces for all residential units shall be clearly designated and separate from the non-residential parking spaces. The parking spaces for the individual residential units shall be clearly numbered and reserved for exclusive use of the unit occupants. And so again, going towards your thought that there's not enough parking, we thought that that's going to be difficult for them to provide, if not
Right.
possible.
I thought we
Yeah.
talked about having like during daytime for customers and at night for the residents, something like that. Wasn't that, talking about that or not?
Yeah, I mean, that's always possible. You can do a shared arrangement. So we put in there is the applicant shall demonstrate that adequate parking is available on and off street to serve the mixed-use structure in accordance with the parking requirements of 465.3. So in other words, looking at the totality of parking in that area, is there enough parking to serve the units in that structure on and off street?
And how would this affect the proposed
So,
building over there on
so
Washington?
they would have to, according to this requirement, they would have to sort of count spaces that would be available on a daily basis, and they would have to demonstrate that those spaces are available.
Public or private spaces?
Well, on and off street spaces. So if they can provide some off street parking, they would have to identify, they would have to do like a parking study, essentially.
They could lease some spaces from
They
somebody
could.
else, yeah.
Right, they could lease spaces. Well, we've leased these 7 spaces over here. And we have, on street, we can provide 4 spaces right there. And then maybe across, because there's parking up and down this street here that's available. They could say, we've got another 7, 8 spaces.
Not just limit right there in front.
Correct.
They can say, nothing, they can say they municipal lot.
It's a compromise in the fact that your ordinance already says they don't have to provide parking. Okay, it already says that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a great experiment that Morrisville is engaged in because most communities just would not do that, okay? Although a lot of people who do revitalization say, yeah, no, you shouldn't make, if you want projects to come in your downtown, you shouldn't make them provide parking. So,
That'd be
you're,
a nightmare too.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it is. It's an interesting experiment. It could, so I think what we're trying to do is sort of straddle that interesting experiment that you have here.
Let them
Yeah.
figure out what kind of parking space.
Correct.
Because in theory, they can
Right.
say, well, your ordinance already says I don't need parking, so.
Right,
I
but,
don't care.
okay, that's fine, but let's say you need to show, well, where would they park?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, how far out of the picture would underground parking be? Parking
Way
garage
out.
first?
well,
I know it's
expensive.
expensive,
yeah.
but
Now, if you're doing a project in Newtown Township along Sycamore Street,
right.
okay, and you've got this great piece of land that's right on Sycamore Street, yeah, you could do underground parking, because the value is there. Or like, New Hope Borough is really hot right now. Not that they would
Right, sure, yeah.
allow that, but,
No parking there.
yeah, there's no parking there, but
Yeah, right, sure.
but it
Yeah.
becomes economically feasible.
Here.
Look, if Morrisville Borough gets to the point where they're putting underground parking, you guys are rich.
Yeah, it's like-
Or structured parking of any
Rooftop
kind.
parking, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is what, this is, we're trying to straddle that, and that requirement, and, at least have them show where those residents can park.
I think it's interesting that they have to basically come in and say, this is how we could make the parking work.
Yeah,
Because they were talking in terms of 100 tenants?
No,
no,
Not that many?
what was it, 27, 21?
21 units.
21 units.
21 units?
What,
Most
right
of
over
them one
here,
bedroom
Dawson?
studio, and I think 1 or 2 two-bedroom.
Right,
Right.
okay.
But, I mean, they can say they can park right over here, but that doesn't mean like 4 cars will be parked there all day long,
No,
shopping
it
at
is,
Ben's.
it is true, but I think you can question them on that, and you would say, you would expect that to be empty at that time. And they would have to do something and demonstrate, like, we went out on these days We took photos of empty spaces here, here, and here. We can expect these spaces to be empty at certain times and these other spaces to be empty
Could
at
the
other
borough
times.
say, okay, we're willing to give up 5, 6 spaces in the municipal lot for a fee of
Sure.
Yeah.
$20 a month?
Some kind of permanent
Yeah.
parking.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they want these spaces.
It could be
sure.
not a big money revenue generator, but it could be something.
Well, one of the things long-term is this property here. Maybe there's a better way of fitting, creating a municipal lot, moving municipal operations off of this site. Yep.
Ballpark, right?
Yeah, there you
Now,
go.
does
Oh,
Capital
God.
Health keep the ambulances here?
Yes.
They do, they still
Yes.
use that building for?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, they can, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a resource right here, and given the right circumstances, you guys could just fill up, go someplace else.
It could be a central.
Put them right now,
whatever.
we put you right in the Stockton building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
There you go.
Put you, no basement for you to go into, right?
Yeah, there's space over there. Kids